Hi, and welcome to episode 101 of M1 Yarns and the Michigan Makers podcast. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jamie. I'm coming to you today. Today is the last day of April. So, as Justin Timberlake once said, it's gonna be May. Anyway, I'm coming to you today from Metro Detroit, Michigan, where I live with my husband and my dogs. And sorry if you saw the last episode, the first few minutes, my dog Daisy was panting pretty hard, and you could hear it on the video, on the audio. And I try to reduce background noise when I edit the video. She was panting really hard. That was, I want to say I recorded it a couple weeks ago, maybe a little over a couple weeks ago. And last week, she was getting up in the middle of the night, like obviously in pain. And then I put together that all this extra panting is not breathing problems. She's in a lot of pain. She is 12. This is not a dog podcast. This is a knitting podcast. But I just want to share kind of what's happening in my life. So Daisy is 12 and she has pretty bad hip arthritis, and we're pretty sure she has cancer. She has lots of lumps and bumps, and yeah, she's on the struggle bus for real. Anyway, was it last week or yesterday? Yes, last week we upped one of her pain meds. She's on several, and that wasn't doing enough. And then yesterday I called the vet, and he called in tramadol. So she started on that. She seems to be doing a lot better, but like right at the 12-hour mark, she needs her next dose, like nobody's business. So I just fed them dinner, and she got all her meds, and I waited a few minutes to let her kind of like calm down and relax into post-dinner nap time. So I'm hoping that apart from the little bit of panting that she's doing right now, she'll calm down in a minute. So I want to say thank you for bearing with me, because my life has been lifing so hard lately. So much so that when I thought about podcasting today, which it's only Wednesday today as I record this, and I feel like this week, the last 3 days alone, have been like a whole month packed into 3 days. And when I sat down to podcast, I knew I wanted to, but I was like, you know what? I want it to feel, for me, more like hanging out with friends. So I was like, you know what? Why don't we make a little cocktail and make it a little happy hour with friends? So, I have a cocktail if you want to get one. If you drink, if you don't drink, no pressure. Go ahead, hit pause, go get yourself a glass of wine or a cocktail or whatever. I used to be a tequila drinker, and I swear this is a knitting podcast. We're gonna get to the knitting. But we're well-rounded individuals, right? I looked at the camera, and all of a sudden I was like, am I even recording all this? I am, obviously. Anyway, I used to be a tequila drinker, and I still am, but my husband is a bourbon drinker, and every once in a while he would order a cocktail that I would enjoy. And one day I was like, you know what? I kind of feel like my palate is changing, and now I like bourbon. So one day I went to one of our favorite restaurants. If you're in Metro Detroit, Bistro Joe's in Birmingham is great. Love them. So I said to the bartender, make me like a palatable bourbon drink. And she was like, how about a Gold Rush? Which, if you've never heard of it, which many people haven't unless you're down south, a Gold Rush is like a bee's knees. So it's honey. Sometimes people do simple syrup. So honey, lemon juice, and bourbon shaken over ice. And that's it. Cheers. Anyway, as I mentioned, life has been lifing. So I don't advocate for like taking the edge off life with a drink or drinking, but I also do. if, you know, if it works for you. If it doesn't, don't do it. Anyway, I have so much to tell you. Last time I told you that the room was pandemonium, and it is more pandemonium because I am 2.5 weeks out from my next show, which is Spring Makers Fest in Charlotte, Michigan. May 17th, I want to say. And then 2 weeks later, I'll be at Tip of the Mitt in Petoskey. So, and I have a lot of empty bins. I have a lot of yarn that's been dyed this week that needs to be dyed. I am living and dying so hard. But my knitting mojo is at an all-time high. So we have new projects, we have new yarn, we have new stuff, and I need your input. So let's dive into it right after we talk about what I'm wearing. You guys frequently ask me at shows or like before shows, hey, do you have any of your cute little love shirts in your booth? And generally I have not. I've had mugs. I do have the mugs. What else have I had? But you can buy a lot of the love logo. You can see it's a hook, tape measure, a ball of yarn with a heart, knitting needles, and a mug for the E with a little M1 logo tea bag. This was designed by my good friend Kirby of KV Designs. She makes project notebooks. If you are a paper person, if you like journaling, go check her out. Anyway, you guys always ask me for these in my booth, and I never get around to ordering shirts. And this time I did. I have a bunch of shirts that just got delivered. And so I thought, let me throw one on. And it says m1yarns.com at the bottom. And yeah, I'm excited to have this in my booth. So if you are coming to one of my upcoming shows, and of course my hair is just out of control. Yeah, you can get your shirt. So I'm excited about that. So, what should we talk about first? Let's talk about Stashquisitions. So, I bought this fiber from KeiraWXYZ, who is based out of New York. I bought this at Woolen Folk. Yes, that Woolen Folk. The year it rained torrentially and was just a disaster. Keira had her booth way upstairs in the venue, and she had this magical braid. This is her logo. This is called Red Wine Supernova, like the Chapel Roan song. This is 40% Corriedale, 33% merino, 2% stellina, 25% recycled sari silk. And I bought this, fell in love with it, and then never touched it. I mean, look at all that beauty. Totally my colors. And then I saw that she was vending at YarnCon with me in Chicago earlier this month. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to go buy more fiber from her because this was so nice that I haven't even touched it yet because I feel like it's so precious, which I'm not normally like that. I'm normally like, use your nice dishes, wear your nice clothes, spin your nice fiber. But then as we were setting up booths, I walked past her booth and she had another braid just like it. And I'm like, oh my God, how do you have the same? This is meant to be. And I said, listen, I will come back. I will let you try to sell it to the attendees because that's the right thing to do. but I will come back Sunday if you haven't sold it, and it's mine. And she said, well, worst case, I have it on my website. I have more at home. I got you. So sure enough, she sold it. And sure enough, as soon as I got home, I ordered 2 more because I thought about it. This altogether makes 300 grams, which if I applied this with, like, let's say a gray or an ivory, like a tonal, solid, natural, to make like a 2-ply barber pole situation, that would give me 600 grams, which is a sweater's quantity. So, she even sent me the cutest little, how cute is that? Thank you note. So lovely to see you again. Until next time. I love that. And I love learning from other vendors, like what's cute. She included this cute little reusable tote bag, which like is perfect to fold up and take to shows. So I am totally going to steal this idea from her and get some of these made for my shop. But I am really jazzed about spinning this fiber. I think it's gorgeous, and I'm so happy I got more of it. So, okay, here's where I need your help. I have 1, 2, 3, technically 4, potentially 5 whips right now, which is a little bit more than I want. That's okay. I am dying to cast on Joji Locatelli's Emory vest. It's cabled. The pattern is written for a vest or a pullover, which I love that you get options. But I want to make the vest because I'm totally feeling like my wardrobe is lacking vests. Anyway, I'm going to just share my secrets with you guys because that's really what you're here for, right? I'm planning to add a new, like every once in a while, I bring in a special limited edition base to my shop, right? Like I want something special, something where it's like seasonal, right? So, this yarn, let me show you. Let me tell you about this yarn. It's fingering weight. It's Patagonian woolen spun wool. And if you are not a spinner, let me just break it down ever so briefly. The way fiber is spun to make yarn is made in 2 different ways, worsted or woolen. And I'm not going to get all scientific on you, but woolen basically is spun so that there's more air within like the twist. If you think about it like this, there's more air in there, and that is what makes the finished garment warmer because that air pocket like forms a protective barrier. I'm sure you spinners at home are listening to this like, no, Jamie, you could totally explain this better. But we're trying to keep it simple. So feel free to comment below if you have a better explanation for woolen versus worsted. But basically, all you need to know is that the vast majority of yarn made these days is not woolen prep. It is worsted prep. And I don't mean worsted in the weight, like DK, worsted, Aran, all that. I mean how the fiber is fed into the spinning wheel or machine or whatever is making the yarn. Anyway, this is woolen, and you can kind of tell because like this is fingering weight. Let me show you. Now, this is also fingering weight, but this is superwash with 20% nylon. This is 410 yards, 400 yards. But look at the difference. this should be the screenshot right here. Am I right? Okay. Enough goofiness. Anyway, this yarn is incredible, and I want to use this, albeit it's fingering, for that vest. That vest is written, the gauge is worsted. So I'm going to hold 2 strands of fingering to achieve worsted. So it uses worsted plus a lace weight. So I've decided I wanted to do a slightly contrast mohair, and we have options, either like really subtle to kind of make a light oatmeal tweedy situation. And this is a new colorway. It's slightly darker than my beach sand colorway and lighter than my mushroom colorway. So I've been wanting to add this colorway to the shop for a long time, so I'm excited about that. So that's like the basic boring combo, right? This is also a new colorway, so I'm just sharing like everything new with you right here. I think I named this, and I can't remember the name of the colorway. I think I had a couple options. So don't come at me for not telling you what the colorway name is, because I can't remember. So the question is, do we like option A, boring and basic, or do we like option B, which is, let's call bold. B for bold, A for average. Am I influencing you? This was initially my like hardcore, this is what I'm doing plan. But then I saw this together, and this is outside my comfort zone ever so slightly. So A for average, B for boring. I mean, B for bold. Oh my God. Okay. That's what I want to make. And I need your help picking. So please comment below. You have to make one of these cocktails. And how I make sure that the honey is liquidy enough, I put it in a coffee mug and I microwave it for 30 seconds before I shake the honey with the lemon juice with the bourbon in a shaker over ice, with ice, very vigorously. Like you want the foaminess. Anyway, okay. Last time we chatted, I think I had mentioned to you that I have been dying to knit Andrea Mowry's new DRK Everyday cardigan. It's knit flat. I re-engineered the pattern to be knit in the round. And I knew from like the very moment I saw this pattern that I wanted to knit too, because I feel like it's like such a wardrobe staple, which is totally where I'm at right now. I wanted a dark version and a light version. And for the light version, I have special plans that I'm whipping up with a friend of mine, to be determined, to be announced down the road. But in the meantime, I wanted a dark version, and the pattern is sport weight. I don't carry sport weight except for my Alpaca My Bags yarn, which is very like buttery soft, floppy, not suitable for this pattern. It just is what it is, right? So I knew in the back of my mind, I was like, I'll just buy some yarn. I don't get to buy yarn very often. It's obviously not for my shop. So this was kind of exciting. So I scoured the internet high and low. I did days of research to find just the right yarn. And if you watch Emily of Gently Chaotic Knits, love that podcast, she talks about Durarum Natura yarn. I have to put on my glasses to read this quite a bit. And in the back of my head, I have always said, I want to check out this yarn. I've never seen it in person, but she talked about it so many times for so many projects that I was like, there has to be. And she's one of those knitters that like you trust her. Like if she says something is good, it's good. So anyway, Durarium Natura. This is, I ordered this online from a yarn shop in Ohio that I had never heard of, and it came within like a couple days. This is Durarium Natura Ulysse. This is 100% wool, also woolen spun from France. Look at this yarn. So this is, I'm trying to get it to focus. There we go. This is dyed black yarn blended, or wool blended with natural brown. So see how it's like, you see bits of brown, you see bits of black. You can't decide, like, is it brown? Is it black? I don't know. But I love this because it's like a warm black, which with my complexion is perfect. So it was my birthday a couple weeks ago, and I was like, you know what? This is a treat myself moment. I ordered the yarn. As soon as it came, I was like, stop the presses. Nothing else matters. I want to cast this on. So I cast it on last week. As I said, I re-engineered the project to be knit in the round. It's designed to be knit flat. So I'm going to knit it in the round and steek it open, which if you've never heard of steeking is cutting your cardigan up the middle. So I bypassed the collar. You can't even really kind of see what's going on here. I bypassed the collar. I'll come back up to the neck and pick it back up later. God, you can't see anything. It's so dark. Let me show you the back, just so you get like a feel. That might be a dog hair. It really does not look that great on camera at the moment because there's like, it's all scrunched up. It's dark. But I cast this on last Friday. Today's Wednesday. And I have like 24 more rows before I split for the sleeves, which is like, I'm at the halfway point before that. It is all scrunched up, so you really can't even see what's going on. I love this yarn. It does feel slightly dry. Like if your cuticles are dry, you gotta moisturize. But it's bouncy. I mean, look at the twist on that. I am in my farm yarn era. Vending at all these fiber festivals and meeting lovely female farmers like my friend Emily, like my friend Bridget. So, I mean, Michigan is so packed with talented women farmers. It is awesome. Y'all have converted me from thinking that farm yarn was all itchy, which a lot of it is, and I am very sensitive, but a lot of it is really lovely. I mean, really, really lovely. And this is making me so happy. My knitting mojo is on fire, and there is not enough time in the day. I stay up till midnight most nights knitting. I could knit for hours and hours and hours, and that is of course aggravating my hand. My little scar tissue from my trigger finger is driving me crazy, and I don't even care. I'm like, let's knit. It's great. But as I said, life is lifing, so you know how it is. When life is lifing, you really want to knit all the more, if you know what I mean. Like, this is total therapy. Okay, so hopefully next episode I will have that split for sleeves so that you can get like more of a sense of how it's working up. Yeah. And I'm really hoping I get to wear it just once before the weather totally changes for the summer. Like yesterday was 82 here in Michigan. Today it reached 59. Tomorrow's supposed to be rain. I could wear this indoors for sure. You know how you want to wear things that you knit like right away. Anyway, do you want to know another secret? Okay, so I plan ahead, right? Like designers and dyers have to think like clothing designers. You have to think about what you're going to release in the fall and winter by the spring, right? Like so you have time to get it ready. So I am planning on adding a limited yarn to my shop. And so I am knitting the sample. And because I don't really want to knit this like all the time right now, it's a back burner project, if you know what I mean. And this yarn, so this is the undyed. I haven't decided what colorways I want to dye it yet. So I'm just knitting with an undyed sample. This is 100% llama. It's fingering weight. It is delightful. And I have these Chow bamboo flexi flips. This hasn't been blocked. My gauge looks a little wonky, so just ignore that. But I'm knitting some fingerless mitts. So this is the very beginning. I can't even tell you what the pattern is. You're probably wondering. And future me, who is editing this video, is probably wondering. So let's get out the iPad and see what the heck is this called. If you want to know, and I think it's a free pattern. Smith's Gloves by, let me put on my glasses. This is a Dutch designer. KalmKnit. This is her logo. I'm sorry the ring light is getting in the way. Keep calm and knit. KalmKnit. That's cute. And these are the mitts. Yeah. So that is something that I'm working on in the background. And, you know, if I get the pair done by August, by early August for my shows in August, September, October, will be good. I have a show every month. Let's see, I have May is Spring Makers Fest. June is Tip of the Mitt. July is Wine and Wool in Jackson. August is Michigan Fiber Festival. September is Northern Michigan Fiber Festival in Alpena. And October is Ann Arbor Fiber Expo. So I have 6 shows left. I think I've done 4 plus a trunk show. So I'm like right at the halfway mark of the season. And you know what? It's like a marathon. You have to pace yourself. You have to be really organized, which I am. But yeah, I need a vacation. I need like, I'm at that point where like I need a week to just knit and spin and not run the business. That's what it is. I'm going to be honest. Like I just need a week. I'll come back super refreshed. I was like this at the end of show season last year. I was so burnt out. And then I booked up all this stuff to start in January. And I got like 4 weeks of off season. So it is what it is. It's fine. Okay. Other stuff. I think I told you last time about my needle purchase. My knitting needles, my new knitting needles, but they haven't arrived yet, so we'll talk about that. If I didn't tell you about that before, I just spilled the beans. But we'll talk about it more next time. I don't know if last time I had split for sleeves on this. I don't know. This is my saltwater salt. No, that's not what it's called. Salty Air Tea by Samantha Guerin. It's all bunched up on the needles, so it looks terrible. But I split for sleeves and love this. This is my hippie lamb in Crown Jewel. This is fingering weight, organic, non-superwash merino. Love all the shades in that. And this is what I'm knitting for the make along going on right now that I'm hosting with my friend Sarah of Coffee Knits with Sarah. If you don't watch her podcast, go over to YouTube, watch it. You'll love it. She is as zen as she comes across. Like in person, she is the same person that she is on her podcast, and she soothes my soul. So Sarah is one of my knitting besties. And we decided that this spring we would co-host a spring, like, make a tea or tank make along. We're both knitting this pattern. Love it. Okay. The make along, I always want to call it a knit along, but crocheters are included. The make along runs through June 20th. Plenty of time. You can totally make a tee or a tank between now and then. So if you haven't already, get started. Post about it on Instagram with the hashtag, which I'll put on the screen right here. Or in the Ravelry group, which is linked in I link everything down below, like all my stuff, show notes. I always forget to say that. It's all linked below. There will be prizes. I am donating yarn as a prize or two or more. We shall see. And I'm going to insert a photo because I took a photo the other day. We teamed up with the Littlest Charm Co., who I met in Chattanooga. Is it Chattanooga? No, I'm mixing my shows. Sorry, Kelsey. I met Kelsey in Indiana when I was there for the Jay County Fiber Festival. And Kelsey was like, hey, I would love to make some custom charms for Progress Keepers for your make along. And I was like, oh, okay. So she made these charms and they're so cute. We wanted specifically a little like spring vibe tee to go with the theme of the spring, like tea or tank make along. And then also a coffee mug in honor of Sarah's podcast called Coffee Knits with Sarah, and the fact that we're both coffee addicts and we get together for coffee all the time. And we asked her to include the adorable cherry blossoms on them. She just totally nailed it. So big thank you to Kelsey. I was going to leave these prizes as a surprise. I have several sets to give away, but they were too cute. I told Sarah the other day, I'm like, we got to share these. They are so stinking cute. And I'm going to let you in on another secret. I'm just spilling all the beans today. Has nothing to do with the fact that I had a cocktail. I'm just in a very sharing mood, so don't judge. Kelsey also is teaming up with me for my winter mystery box, which I think I told you about last time. But if you don't know, I will link it below. It's like an advent, but not. It's 5 full skeins of yarn or fiber. You can add on a 6th one if you want, and it's all themed about fantastic women who resisted fascism, racism, sexism, that sort of stuff. Like women who made a difference in the fight for basically rights, for equality. So that's the theme of this year's box. It'll get delivered in November. It includes yarn or fiber, depending on what you pick, and lots of goodies. One of the goodies being, I'm going to leave that as a surprise what they look like. But if you know Kelsey of the Littlest Charm Co., you know that she makes really amazing progress keepers, stitch markers, all that sort of thing. She and I worked together for like probably a month to design these. Lots of cute little like edits and hard work went into this, and I'm super grateful. So you can pre-order your box now, all linked below, and rest assured that you will get some really cute progress keepers in your box from the littlest, why can I never say that? The Littlest Charm Co. Certain words do not roll off my tongue like ever. Ever. That's a whole other story. Okay. Let me tell you about my last whip, and then I'm probably going to wrap it up. But this is a funny story. So if you're still here, thanks for sticking around. If you know, you know, but I have been knitting the Shift Again by Emory. I hand dyed the main color, which is my beach sand colorway. And the contrast color is, if you're from Michigan, you've probably heard of them. Stonehenge Fiber Mill. Crazy is the name of the yarn. And it comes like one skein has a bunch of stuff. Like I broke it into like little balls. I'm trying to balance my basket. This was all from one skein. So it's like Spin Cycle, but more segmented. Is that the word I'm looking for? Anyway, so I have a bunch of those little balls that I just showed you, but as you can see, I'm about to split for the sleeves. So we have like the vast majority of the yoke done. This is going to be steeked. This is the steek column. And I evaluated my yarn, my contrast color, and I'm like, I don't think I have enough. I don't know what happened. I had bought 2 skeins of the Crazy years ago, and I planned to knit a different pattern. And I think, knowing me, I probably didn't actually look at how much yardage I needed. I just, like, for some reason, magically thought I would have enough. And I don't think I do. Well, I sent a newsletter out to all my customers, and I was like, hey guys, I'm not trying to sell you a single skein of yarn today. I want to buy yarn from you. And if you have a skein or 2 of Stonehenge Crazy, let me know. I want to buy it off of you. I got so many emails. I have never gotten so many emails on one topic in my life. Like, my customers have Stonehenge Crazy in their stash. Like, this is a thing. And you all have said, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yarn. You just have it. So, one of you, who shall remain nameless, but there's a special place in heaven for you. You emailed me with photos of what you have. Nailed it. It's going to be great. I'm getting the yarn at the end of the month because we're meeting up at Tip of the Mitt Fiber Festival in Petoskey. and this will continue. I'm going to continue knitting this with the yarn that I have because, as I said, I have other balls. So I have these. I do have this, although I'm not. This screams Green Bay Packers to me. I've got some of this. This screams Harry Potter. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Like, I don't think I'm going to use it. I do have more, although I don't know where it is. Maybe that's, yeah, I think I panicked. I think I'm only going to knit with this. And then I'm going to get as far as I can, basically. But I'm telling you, I'm loving my Andrew Mowry cardigan so much that I don't want to put it down. So, let me take a breath and think about, do I have anything else to talk about? I have a whole post-it note about everything I want to talk about, and it's on the other side of the room. Okay, reading glasses on. I teased you about the make-along prize. Check. I teased you about my whips and the crazy yarn. Check. And my cardigan and the hohie vest. And I have a note here that makes no sense. I don't know. I don't know what I wrote. So, with that, I think I'm just going to wrap it up. I hope that you have enjoyed Happy Hour with Jamie. Tell me if you made a cocktail or a glass of wine, what you had. Tell me what you're knitting below. And be sure to tell me if you are team average or team bold. I need to know. You need to decide. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. Everything is linked below. If you're in Michigan, I hope to see you at one of my upcoming shows. If you're not in Michigan, you can travel to Michigan. It's a great place to visit. And until next time, happy knitting, happy crochet, happy spinning.